Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining this webinar session on buyer persona identification. This is a follow-up to our last session on value proposition identification. So normally, if you want to venture into e-commerce and freelancing and you want to offer your products or services, it is important that you don't just sell online. You need to be able to clearly communicate what makes your product different. How does it solve the pains that your target market is experiencing and how it will add value to your target market? But instead of pitching it from from your own perspective, you need to be able to communicate it from your buyer's perspective, more on how it will value to them rather than what you think how it's gonna add value to them. So that's the idea. This is a good starting point because by being able to know how your product or service will add value to another person, it gives you leeway in terms of communicating to that market without necessarily having an idea who they really are. Meaning, hindi pwedeng ma-generalize mo siya kahit papano, no? Kasi, syempre, pag magko-focus ka talaga per age bracket, it can be a challenge. However, if you're gonna venture into digital marketing and digital advertising, then dun na talaga mas kailangan mo i-flesh out yung ating target audience as mas lagyan mo pa siya ng face, contour, structure, persona, no? Para mas magkaroon tayo ng clear perspective kung paano natin siya i-market. Okay? So let's continue. So I'd like to ask you, and you can use the chat box to answer this. Why is it important for you to know your buyer persona? And where can you use it? Although I gave an idea earlier, and I can say that I'm taking that from my perspective. How about you? Do you take time to get to know your target buyer and have an idea about them? And why is that important to you? And where do you use it? Or where can you use it? So I'd like to know your thoughts of para magkaroon na rin ako ng idea if some of you are quite familiar already. Hi, Erica. Yes, Erica, thank you very much for letting me know your handle and I will add you later. Sabi ni Ray, yes, I do. It's important for me so that I can communicate to him or her on his level. Lauren said, if you know the persona of your buyer, you will know how to engage them so you can build a solid marketing plan around your product. Thank you, Lawrence. Si Lawrence, sa sagot pa lang niya, medyo naramdaman ko, medyo advanced na siya, ha? Okay, so Lawrence, thank you very much. I hope if you want me to unmute your microphone later so that you can also add your thoughts, let me know. All right? So, of course, kagaya ng sinabi ni Ray at saka ni Lawrence, para mas magkaroon ka ng solid marketing plan. It allows you to focus and have clear targeting, no? Pati na rin kung anong language ang gagamitin mo. Kasi syempre, hindi ka naman pwedeng mag-JEPROX na language kung ang target market mo ay AB pala. Ganun din, hindi ka naman masyadong pwedeng maging highfalutin sa language mo. Kapos ang target mo pala ay nasa class D. So, kailangan magmamatch. So, para magmatch siya, kailangan malinaw sa atin kung sino yung tina-target nating customer segment. So, do you know your audience? Kayo, I mean, for those of you who are into freelancing right now, or maybe who are into digital marketing or have ventured into e-commerce, how well do you know your audience? What do you know so far about your audience? Would you like to share? So, dahil experiential sharing tayo, yung presentation ko ngayon, I'm gonna focus on my experience in identifying my audience. Para at least I'm relating it to you from a first-hand experience, no? Rather than maging theoretical tayo in approach. Although, i-discuss ko yung theoretical side of it, pero papakita ko sa inyo yung practical application kung paano ko siya in-apply in one of my projects. Gina said it is important to know your buyers so you know how to communicate effectively and tailor your marketing to them. Thank you very much, Gino, for sharing that. Maria Luella said knowing the buyer persona will be a big help in selling your product. I think the end point of longevity and effectiveness of any marketing and branding effort is to understand the position of my target market in the buying process. Thank you, Niall. And co-industry, sabi ni Jose Emmanuel. Okay, thank you very much. So, mga peers din in the industry ang ibig niya sabihin. Um, Although, i-discuss pa natin to sa marketing part, no? Pero siguro gusto ko lang bigyan ng advance na parang advanced glimpse. Sa digital marketing kasi, meron tayong tinatawag na inbound marketing process as promoted by HubSpot. Nandyan yung awareness, consideration, and decision. Awareness is where you try to build awareness of your, parang educating your target market, being a source of that knowledge, where in the process you introduce your brand, but not necessarily selling your brand, but using your brand as a channel to communicate knowledge or to communicate information that is relevant to your target market. And then pagdating sa consideration, that's where you give more follow-up, additional information, additional knowledge that can assist the person to move towards the next stage of the decision cycle hanggang sa pumasok siya dun sa conversion process na nako-convert na natin yung person na yon to a customer. So, meron tayong journey na dinadaanan. So, knowing your target audience is very important. No? So, as an example, ang gagamitin natin ulit, kagaya nung ginamit natin last time, ay yung Certified Ecommerce Professional Program. This is an 11-module training program that I started 2 years ago. When I started this, I only conducted classes in Manila and Cebu. And then, for batch 2, I had classes in Manila, Cebu, Baguio, and Davao. And last year, latter part of last year, and as of today, I'm only offering it online so that uh, anyone can take it anytime they want, self-paced. So, nag-evolve siya. So, meaning, even from a buyer persona perspective, nagbago yung aking buyer persona. No? So, nagpakita na ako ng idea on that nung last session. So, dito, mas isa-solidify ko pa siya para mas makita nyo where it is coming from. So, when identifying your buyer persona, I think especially if you have limited resources, you think about your target buyer from multiple perspective, no? Kasi meron tayong mga doers, suppliers, influencers, and innovators. If you're offering something new, then maybe you are targeting innovators, people who can embrace your idea at the initial stage. Of course, there are also doers, people who may not necessarily be your customer directly, pero they can also mobilize other people who can benefit from your product or service. Like for example, uh, I'm teaching e-commerce, so I'm trying to attract enrollees to get to enroll in my e-commerce program, right? So parang ganun yung ginagawa ko for the past 3 years. Pero ang nangyayari, I find myself being in a situation where I also, through my marketing efforts, I also attract these 4 people, no? Or 4 segments. So, doers, yung mga government agencies, mga organizations who ask me to come up with customized program para sa organization nila o para sa project nila. I also attract suppliers, including partners, yung mga gustong magturo rin doon sa class ko, o kaya gustong maging supplier providing me services. Like halimbawa, may payment solution kami, may content management system kami, may digital marketing platform kami. So I hope you can integrate us in your program. So yun yung tinatawag nating supplier. And then there are influencers. Influencers are people na who will refer your program to others, although they may not necessarily be your enrollees. And then you also have innovators. So in my case, the kind of customers that I attract are mga nasa innovators. Kasi hindi sila yung tipong sumasakay na, maraming nag-enroll dun sa program na yun, dun sila sasali. Ito yung mga tipong, they are looking for something that is very niche and unique for them, na para bang they want to be known as an innovator in that space. So, in your case, I hope that before you dive in to your target customer, tingnan nyo kung meron kayong ganito. May innovator ba kayong client? Or kung wala kayong innovator na client, then ano yung tawag nyo sa kanya? Ako, I can categorize that most of my clients are in the category of innovators kasi it's a big risk to venture into the program with such tedious requirements, no? So doers, suppliers, influencers, and innovators. So pwedeng ganito ang maging itsura niya. Yan, yung mga doers can also be educators, can also be entrepreneurs. So, pwede rin maging actual na student sila. Yung innovators ko, training partners, pero kung tutusin yung mga training partners, marami rin sa kanila nagiging students ko. And then, you have influencers, can be graduates, practitioners who will refer the program, and suppliers, yung mga event managers and government partners. So, that means that kapag gumagawa ka ng buyer persona, hindi mo talaga pwedeng i-limit lang sa sino yung bibili sa'yo. Tingnan mo rin kung sino yung pwede mo makapartner, sino yung pwedeng mag-spin off ng new opportunities for you, cross-sell, sino yung pwedeng maka-influence, at sino rin yung parang tipong can gather other people to participate or take advantage of what you are offering. Okay? So, who is your focus audience? Sige, before that pala. How about you? I'm curious. Who are your doers, suppliers, influencers, and innovators? Would you like to share? Look at your product or service right now. Who do you consider to be your doers, suppliers, influencers, and innovators? Na tingin nyo nakakatulong sa inyo para maka-attract kayo ng target market. Would you like to share? You can share it one by one. Gino, yes, you can. No? Tingnan ni Gino kung pwede niya raw akong ma-add sa FB. Okay, so I'm gonna give this to you. Alright, so would anyone like to share kung sino yung kanilang mga doers, suppliers, influencers, and innovators? Ganun din siya, no? Kapag nagmo-marketing ka, minsan magugulat ka, ito yung tina-target mong market pero meron ka na-attract na another. So, one of the reasons for that is pwedeng attracted siya pero ang role niya, hindi siya yung talagang customer. Pwedeng supplier siya, pwedeng influencer siya, pwedeng innovator siya. So, I'm curious on ano yung na-discover, ano yung analysis nyo insofar as your current market is concerned. Would anyone like to share? Okay, so while waiting for your answers, okay. Sabi ni Olivia, Olivia, ano ulit yung business mo? Para malagay natin siya into perspective. Kasi napansin ko medyo para makita ko kung paano sa digital marketing, ang doers mo, actually, yung doers mo, hindi necessarily ikaw. Kasi ang inaano natin dito yung target audience eh. So, ikaw yung nagpipitch na idea. So, who are the people who can act on your ideas? So, if you're selling digital marketing, who are the people who can act on your ideas? So, to organize, assemble, decide, and gather can be your target market. No? Pag sinabing influencers, these are the people who can empower you or who can promote you or who can include you or add you into their wings, no? So you mentioned Joji and Nix. Hindi ko nabanggitin yung last name nila kasi baka personal siya, no? And then suppliers, you mentioned your partner teams. And then for innovators, you collaborate with friends who need your service. All right, thank you very much. For Jose, from the construction industry, ang kanyang doers, suppliers, and innovators are the same because my subcon sometimes became my clients. All right, so thank you very much. Of course, kung whoever they are, maganda rin kung masabi mo kung sino sila. Ano ba sila? Government contractors? Are they engineers? Are they design consultants? No? So, yun. Maganda kung project managers para ma-identify mo siya. Okay? Alright, so thank you very much for sharing that. And then if there are more to be, kung meron pang mag-share, okay, I will very much appreciate it. Ray said, ang doers niya are B2B clients who own small businesses. Suppliers, my freelance devs. Okay. Influencers, my clients who share my products with their peers. Innovators, those who want to add value to my existing product. Thank you very much, Ray. That's very good. Okay, so I hope na nakita magandang exercise siya, no? Na makita mo talaga kung sino yung mga players mo. Kasi minsan may mga marketing efforts ka na hindi ka talaga naghahanap ng customer, pero pwedeng naghahanap ka ng doer, naghahanap ka ng supplier, naghahanap ka ng influencer, naghahanap ka ng innovators. Okay? So, now that you have identified them, you can now focus, you can decide now to focus. Who do you want to focus into? Do you want to focus on your doer, supplier, influencer, or innovator? It's up to you. Pero I suggest for this session, you focus on one para ma-build nyo siya. Or focus on two para makapag-try kayo ng dalawa. For this one, focus on one na representing a company or who works for a company. It can be a doer, supplier, innovator, or a doer na who works for a company. So, it's important for you to know your focus audience. So, anong hinahanap natin tungkol sa isang focus audience? Dahil these are people who can act on your offer, then it's good to have an understanding of the politics. What power do they have? What influence do they have? Ano yung participation niya sa decision-making process. For firmographics, yung based on the company or industry where he is working, anong size ng company niya, ano ang kanyang demographics, itong person na to, ethnographics, ano ang kanyang social needs and cultural needs, and then good to know also ang kanyang psychographics, no? Personalities, values, attitude, interests, communities, and lifestyle. I think the beauty of knowing that is para makita mo if you want to be aligned to someone. Like, for example, if you're a passionate person na you're doing things for advocacy, and then all of a sudden, hindi money ang priority mo, and then all of a sudden, yung gusto makipag-partner sa'yo, mas nakafocus sa paano ako kikita dyan, paano tayo magkakapera dyan. Most likely, magre-repel ka on that approach kasi hindi yun yung values mo. No? So, kaya maganda na ina-identify mo rin kung ano yung values and attitudes na hinahanap mo. Kasi pag hindi kayo sync, especially on a partnership level, then maraming magiging affected. No? Ma-affect ang inyong relationship. Alright? So, I'd like you to think about it and then babalikan ko yung sagot nyo. So, I hope you can start filling this up on your own, on your end. Ano yung tingin nyo na profile ng iyong market. Lalo na yung mga sumagot kanina. Pili kayo whether doer, supplier, influencer, or innovator. Politics, firmographics, demographics, ethnographics, at ang ating psychographics. So in my case, based on sa pinresent ko sa inyo kanina, I said that my focus audience, if I would look at mga nagiging students ko, they are usually entrepreneurs, mid-20s to 30s, although meron ding nasa, pag partners, mapalo din siya hanggang 40s, aspire success, and they are usually independent decision makers. Last session, I showed you some profiles of my past graduates para makatulong din siya para pag nakita niyo binuo ko yung buyer persona, makita niyo rin kung ano yung perspective ko on nasaan yung bias ko, which is influenced by past experience as well. Like one of my batch 1 graduate is MJ Panganiban, who is an e-commerce evangelist and is now executive director of the Digital Commerce Association of the Philippines. And he also works for Air21, parang e-commerce head siya ron, no? And he goes around the country also working with DTI, Union Bank, and the likes to educate people on e-commerce. So if I want to name this persona as a marketing or techie mark who works for a company, pero hindi necessarily na yung profile niya na nakalagay dito is a profile of Mark, I could put it in a generic form. So pwede kong sabihin na ang kanyang power, I was supposed to use a highlighter. Power, capable siya of investing for own growth needs, can recommend programs. Recommendation is equivalent to approval. Kung owner siya ng business, then siya na yung nag-approve right away. Firmographics, below 20 part-time, full-time employees. Although in some cases, if they work for bigger companies, they have more employees. Revenue, more than 300,000 a year kasi may mga small business na nag-join. Player siya in the e-commerce ecosystem, or at least one way or the other. No? Maybe one office but nationwide international clients and present in key cities. And demographics, late 20s to early 40s, college level to degree holder. Nilagay ko na lang, actually malito, no? Hindi ethnicity siya eh. So, sorry about that. Pero nalagay ko dito Christians. Gender, male, female. Sa atin kasi parang walang ganong, hindi naman tayo nag-aano ng ethnicity, di ba? Minsan religion pa. So, although dapat tanggalin ko to dahil hindi naman siya ganun ka-issue sa atin. Male, female, inside, outside of metro areas. Let me correct that now. Parang hindi ako comfortable na nagkamali ako doon. So let me remove that. All right. Save. And then, yan. Ethnographics wants to serve, uplift local community by creating expertise service, catering to local and outside. Wants to be at par with industry players without location as a barrier. I think ito sa akin importante yung ethnographics. Yung cultural need niya, yung I like the idea when I get students na who sees e-commerce more than just something that will benefit them. Yung nakikita nila na ano yung significance nito, hindi lang para sa kanila, pero para rin sa community nila. And that's why I love getting students na usually outside of Metro Manila, yung mga naka-base sa provinces. Kasi nakikita kagad nila ano yung wala sa lugar nila. At nakikita niya na kung matututo ako nito, kaya ko itong i-offer, kaya kong gumawa ng portal for our province, ganyan. So, mas may vision. So, when your purpose becomes bigger than yourself, nakakatakot siyang gawin, pero it adds stronger value. So, kaya gusto ko yung may ganung klaseng mindset, no? Kasi sila yung masarap katrabaho, no? Social need wants to be at par with industry players without location as a barrier. Kahit na kaya taga Manila siya, kaya hindi, para sa kanya same lang kasi pareho-pareho na lang naman tayo may internet. No? Competitive, visionary, focus, discipline, resilient, interest in online business, MSME development, and education. Baby part of freelancer, startup, and entrepreneur communities. Lifestyle, mobile, work at home, day job, project-based, and spends more time with family. So this is an example of how a focus profile can look like, factoring also yung politics, yung power niya in decision making. So how about you? Meron ba kayong na-come up with kung ano yung itsura nung market niyo? Yung sino yung inyong focus audience? Niall said, doon sa kaninang chart, digital marketing and branding ang kanyang service, ang doers and suppliers niya are clients. Influencers niya ay friends, bloggers, clients, at ang innovators niya are friends and mentors. Okay? Sige. So, meron bang gustong mag-share ng ganito? Yung based doon sa understanding nyo ng inyong market? Or if you have any questions so far, of course, you can type your questions using the questions box. Alright? Okay, so mukhang yung iba nag-iisip pa. So, okay lang gawin niyo siya and then we will read them later after the webinar session, no? And have a discussion. So, another way of looking at your customer needs is to try the HubSpot Framework. Si HubSpot kasi, meron din siyang buyer persona. Now, yung buyer persona framework ni HubSpot looks at the following items: background, demographics, identifiers, background ng person, yung basic demographics niya, that includes yung age profile niya. How do you know that this is the person na fitting the profile? Ano yung when you see them, alam mo na ganun siya. Yun yung identifier. No? Ano ang kanyang primary and secondary goals in life? What are the primary and secondary challenges that prevents them from achieving their goals? What can you do to help them? What do they say? What are their common objections that is related to the product and service you are offering? What is your marketing messaging and elevator pitch? Actually, pag tinignan mo siya, mukha siya madali. Pero pag hindi clear sa'yo yung customer mo, medyo mahihirapan ka sa kanya. At saka minsan, kapag marami kang naiisip, medyo mahirap gawin yung marketing messaging and elevator pitch, no? Kaya doon nagtatay in yung ginagawa natin sa last session, yung value proposition identification, para mas maging clear tayo sa ating marketing messaging and elevator pitch. And this is the document, yung pinesent natin this week, yung branding, value proposition identification, and buyer persona. You usually revisit this before you start any campaign. You usually revisit this before you create any new product or service para makita mo kung attune ka pa rin ba, no? Nagbabago na ba yung demographic mo? Yung mga nakuha mo bang client ngayon nag-match dito? Kasi baka mamaya, hindi mo naman talaga sila nakukuha, baka mali yung tina-target mo. So, pwede kang mag-improve from there. Kaya maganda na kina-clarify natin siya. So, kung you can opt to do the one earlier, or if you want, you can create this framework instead, no? Or you can use this framework instead dun sa ating exercise. So, halimbawa, if I will fill that up, so let's say last time, pinakita ko na rin to, one of my batch 1 graduates was RM Nisperos. He's an UP Open University instructor for e-commerce, pero at the same time, he is also a business strategy expert. No? So he does a lot of consulting. He also helps startups create their pitch decks and do feasibility studies for companies. No? So, and then I have another one, si JM, who started as a virtual assistant doing data entry type of work. And then when he ventured into the program, he wanted to level up the virtual assistant services that he can offer. He also works with other virtual assistants. So after the program, he now focused on doing e-commerce focused virtual assistant services. So yeah, mga Amazon, eBay, Shopify management, SEO. So anything related to e-commerce. So doon na siya nagpo-focus. So kung gagawan ko siya ng freelancer profile, it will likely look like this. No? So para makita nyo lang yung difference nung, well, maybe difference, pero at the same time, parang almost the same din naman siya, no? Pero at least para makita nyo lang. Minsan maganda rin yung nagtatry ka ng iba't ibang framework para ma-flesh out mo pa, ma-squeeze out mo pa yung details, no? So, in this case, freelancer or own business, maybe background niya ay digital marketing specialist siya, married with kids, or maybe one way or the other specialist siya in some fields na related dun sa e-commerce and digital marketing. Skew sa male, I notice, although may mga, ngayon medyo balance na, pero yung mga earlier graduates ko are mostly male. Napansin ko, yung mga male, mas mataas ang patience nila na mag-finish ng program up to the end. Sa female students ko, napansin ko parang mas mataas ang immediate gratification na kailangan makuha kagad yung benefit for female. Pero for male, parang sila yung mas sold dun sa rigorous process. Yun ang napapansin ko sa mga students ko. So, 25 to 45, dual household income, urban, rural, basta may good internet. Usually, they're curious. They like to communicate through social media. Goal nila is to grow the business, meet growing family needs, and they want to level up their expertise. Challenges nila in life, that more or less nag-aano rin dun sa mga goals nila is need to spend more time with family and be a hands-on parent. Growing competition in same niche with lower pricing. So dito na papasok kung ikaw yung service provider, what can you do? So in this case, pwede ko sabihin na offer program that can be taken online and self-paced para ma-address yung concern niya na they want to spend more time with their family. So they can take it anytime, anywhere. And then para makapag-compete pa sila, so ito yung nilagay ko, competitive certification and be in the radar of trainers' network of opportunities. Kasi usually if I have projects, I prioritize my graduates. Real quotes, maraming sinasabi nila, if I ask them why did they join the program, usually what they would say, e-commerce is where the money is. I want to thrive in this space and not rely on clients alone. So meaning, they want to be a service provider, but at the same time, they want to create their own e-commerce business. But more often also, these are the objections that they give. why is the program, yung certification, is this tedious? Parang ang daming hinihingi. So, minsan dyan marami na turn off. So, as a service provider, I can decide whether babaguhin ko ba siya or yun yung mga hindi ko i-compromise, no? So, yan yung challenge mo kapag nagmo-marketing ka, especially if you want to stand firm on a service that you're offering, no? Some really adjust, lalo na kung mas priority niya talaga na kumita siya, no? Marketing messaging, uh, this is an example. It's not the perfect pitch, pero for this example lang, para makita nyo lang, there is an industry shortage of well-rounded e-commerce professionals who can help businesses go online. Serve this niche today. Pag elevator pitch, help companies create, build, and manage their e-commerce strategy. Cater to the more than 30 million Filipino online buyers. Okay? So usually yan ang pinapakita ko para lalo na sa mga campaigns, para makita nila na growing yung market, and that is why they have to pay attention into it. So, before we go to this, I'm curious, so what did you come up with? Ano yung parang mas madali sa inyo? Yung kanina na may firmographics o mas type nyo tong HubSpot na model? I'm curious. Although hindi naman talaga siya HubSpot dahil parang ginagamit din siya ng iba. Pero sa digital marketing kasi mas naging familiar siya with HubSpot, no? Tanong ni Jose Emmanuel, what's the difference between marketing message and elevator pitch? Kasi you can have multiple marketing messages. It's not necessarily limited to one. While elevator pitch is something that you need to be able to describe in one or two sentences, especially when people ask you what makes your what makes your program different, o kaya why should I take your program, yung parang kaya mong sagutin in a sentence or two. And having an elevator pitch is very important kasi marketing messaging, you can have a longer time in explaining what makes your product or service different. Marami kang pwedeng sabihin. So sa elevator pitch, parang it's distilling it to the essence. So you can either focus on yourself or you can focus on the market and the opportunities that the market that can be served insofar as the market is concerned. For the lack of space, medyo isa lang yung nalagay ko ron, pero usually mga 2 bullets yon or 3 bullets. Okay? And then, Ray said gusto niya yung may firmographics. Para kay Nay, mas madali for me yung may politics. Okay, thank you very much. Sige. Of course, if you have created something and you want to share and get feedback, that would be great too. Alright, so tuloy na natin yung discussion natin. So, more or less, nagkaroon tayo ng idea dun sa ating audience profile. Kaya maganda na whenever you create your website, your digital marketing materials, your, how do you call it, your write-ups, no? Importante na na-visualize nyo yung inyong target audience. So sa akin, medyo swerte ako dahil kahit paano meron, lahat naman tayo yata one way or the other, meron ng mga naging past clients. So, pwedeng habang ginagawa mo, na-visualize mo siya. Ano yung facial expression niya. Huwag naman yung puro nakangiti. Pati yung itsura naiinis, confused, no? Maganda kung meron din kayong mga ganung picture para maano mo kung mako-confuse ba siya rito, maiintindihan niya ba to. Ma-visualize mo siya in such a way na as if you're talking to that person, na-imagine mo rin kung anong suot niya, no? Like in my case, when I meet them as students, especially during classes, so nakikita ko yung mga naka-casual attire, no? Dala-dala yung mga laptops nila. Tapos habang nagka-klase, sumasagot ng tech support sa client nila, no? Minsan nangyayari yung ganon. And usually, what are they thinking about, no? Like, madali ba itong gawin? Ano matututunan ko rito? Uy, okay to, may matututunan akong bago, no? So, depende sa attitude. May mga student na pag may pinagawa kang task, ang hirap. May estudyante naman na pag may pinagawa kang task, uy, okay to, I'm gonna learn something new. At last, matatry ko na siya. No? May gano'n naman mag-isip. Okay? So, maganda na visualize natin yung ating target audience. So, last session, we talk about the value proposition canvas. We spend a lot of time in identifying the customer jobs, the pains, and the gains. At dun sa last slide ko, last time, sabi natin, after identifying all the customer pains, customer jobs, pains, and gains, we have to prioritize it according to um, most important, and there are a lot of people who are in that position that you can cater to. So, ang nilagay ko dito ay those who want to be seen as an e-commerce expert, yung makapag-level up sila, at the same time be credible na maposition nila yung sarili nila as an e-commerce expert. And since they work for the company or they are freelancers and they'll be investing, they want to be able to monetize, meaning makakuha ka agad ng client, magkaroon ka agad ng ROI insofar as their investment is concerned. And since pain is usually location, since they cannot go to Manila, they cannot go to Cebu, they cannot go to Davao, they cannot go to Baguio. So that's why pinocus ko siya sa online, no? So parang zoom in ko na siya. So kung na-zoom in ko na kung ano yung job, pain, and gain, tapos binvisualize ko na kung ano yung customer, kung ano itsura niya, ano profile niya, ano pa yung mga ibang iniisip niya. So that's where natin siya pinagdidikit or pinagre-reconcile. Okay? So, although tinakal ko to last time pero we did not really have much time to do it then that's where you try to flesh out your value proposition. Ano yung product or service na ino-offer mo? What service are you offering? So halimbawa, yung value proposition, let's say the product is the e-commerce professional program. Pwede ko sabihin na itong product na to, it's an e-learning program. Meron siyang kasamang online consultation. Meron siyang resource persons where you can also learn from. And then meron siyang certification. And then, based dun sa client pains, kasama na yung mga binanggit ko kanina, yung mga challenges. So, marami tayong nakalagay, no? Pero ang zoom in ko yung location eh. Pero if you notice, kung para ma-match kung ano yung desire ng customer, ano yung mga pains niya, yan, nilagay ko siya na clear guidance, believe in potential, showcase graduates, provide alternatives for pay-as-you-go, meaning they can start anytime, partnered with the school para dun sa mga concern nila, credible ba yung program o hindi, and then sustainable ba yung program, kaya meron akong government adoption of program, and that's why we have itong e-commerce and digital marketing mentoring program for MSMEs. Although ito parang more of 1-hour lectures, parang tip of the iceberg siya nung full program kasi wala naman kayong exercises or deep dive dun sa mga content, no? Consultation, no? So nilagyan ko siya ng ganyan. And then, ano yung gain? So yung gain nila na they want to be recognized, they want to be able to showcase, they want to be able to get clients, yun. Kaya nilagyan ko ng certification, project opportunities. We also go abroad. We usually go to Singapore, Malaysia to showcase our student projects. So usually our students present their pitches there. And then we invite them to speak at conferences. And then we invite them also as trainers para mas mag-build up pa yung confidence nila at nakakadagdag din yun sa credentials. So by doing that, what the ideal scenario, as I mentioned the last time, is you want to be able to document all the concerns of your customers. What job do they perform? Ano yung kanyang pain? Ano yung kanyang gain? Para makita mo kung talaga naiintindihan mo yung customer mo. And then the buyer persona, more or less, after knowing the concerns, what pains and gains, ito na, mas piniflesh out mo na siya as an individual. Mas gina-get to know mo na siya as a person na may mga ganitong concerns. And what you want to be able to achieve is be able to provide pain relievers that can solve your customer pains, value to your customers that will satisfy the gains that your clients want to have. Pag sinabi natin gain, meron tayong mga expected value, surprise value, or mga unexpected value na pwede nating makuha. So you want to be able to match the two of them para masabi mo na meet mo yung requirements ng iyong target market. Okay? So, with that, I think kung tutusin napansin nyo, hindi ganun kahaba yung session natin for today sa buyer persona kasi ang hinahabol ko sana mas magka-discussion pa tayo para for you to also share kung ano yung ano yung concern nyo sa mga areas na where you try to understand your customer needs. So we can now proceed to the Q&A and share your ideas on this topic or share what you have done. Thank you. And how do you relate that to your product or service? Okay. Ray said, can we go back to the slide where we saw the firmographics? Okay. Ayan. So, would anyone like to share what they have done para magkaroon tayo ng konting validation? If you have done something and you want to show your screen and get feedback, pwede rin naman yun, no? If you're interested. Okay? So, while waiting, just to ano lang, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time to join the learning session for today. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so para you will receive notification for any other lessons that gets posted online. All right, thank you very much. And our next session will be all about e-commerce site development, and that will be on Monday. Okay, everyone. So let's continue. And of course, this is your time to share what you have done. No, so for those of you ready to share, just press your raise your hand. Just press the raise your hand button, and I'm going to unmute your microphone. So please introduce yourself, what product or service that you are offering, and who is your focus audience. And we now have on the line Ray Beltran. Ray, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm Ray Beltran. I'm currently helping out my client who's into marketing ERP software. So basically, our clients are B2B clients. So they are from 25 to 35 years old, and may spill over siya because we're relying on this 25 to 35 years old to spread by word of mouth how good the product is, which is actually happening. Politics is, yung mga SME owners, enterprise and owners, they usually are capable of investing talaga. So they can also recommend how good the programs are, the ones that we make, and they, by word of mouth, they usually refer clients to us. So that's how we get revenue. And then they can readily decide and approve. That's why we're making our product tailored fit for what they need. Firmographics, since they are SMEs, basically mga around 50 to 75 employees, or 35 siguro yung pinaka smallest. And then education, majority are graduates, may MBA yung iba, but there are a smattering of undergrads who have sharp eye on business. Wala tayong ethnicity. Gender, it doesn't matter. Geography, they're all over but concentrated in Metro Manila. Social needs and cultural needs, wala gaano, but na-observe ko, they are very sociable and are into networking in terms of getting leads and clients. Psychographics, they're very, they want to be on top of things. Personality, medyo hindi naman sila they're not really that very serious, but when you talk to them in terms of business, you see that they're really into it. Values, they really value honesty kasi sila very on the level, so they'd rather get the positive and negative side of your product from you. So you have to be upfront about it. Interests, they want to have more time with their family also. So basically yun yung nakita kong characteristic ng aking target.
Okay.
So I guess that's it, Janet.
Ray, if I recall correctly, you're offering writing services, right?
Yeah, I also do that. For now, kasi since I've also...
For this case study, bali ang product mo is an ERP solution.
Yes, and I'm helping out their marketing, creative-wise,
Uh-huh.
at saka marketing-wise. So,
Uh-huh.
kumbaga parang in terms of ini-skew ko din yung communication ko sa writing and coming up with uh, the way to communicate to them. That's why I'm there also sa writing part.
And if
Sa
I
marketing naman, I'm also
okay, please go ahead. Sorry, sorry.
sa marketing side naman kasi I've been practicing marketing for quite some time na. It really depends on the need of the business. That's why I'm helping out sa digital side kasi kailangan.
Okay. And then, so the product is an ERP solution. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then
Yep.
the customer segment that you're referring to, I assume you're referring to the decision maker who is the owner of the business,
Yes.
or are you referring to
Yep.
a senior manager?
Oh, owner of the business. SMEs talaga.
Okay, owner of the business. So, so
Mm.
their job, okay, although you gave me a profile already. So, since they are owners of the business, so technically the job is really keeping the business afloat and
Yes.
serve the needs of their business, di ba? Pero in relation to where the
Mm-hmm.
ERP fits in, ano yung sinosolve yung pain ng customer? What are the customer pains?
Ay, madami actually in terms of payroll, getting things together pagdating sa financials, alam mo yun, problema sa kanila yun eh. Some of them aren't really automated yet. And they're also, in terms of cost, if they get the competitor, it's usually an imported product and they cannot customize it. Usually kasi pag ERP na imported yung product, you will pay for the whole thing. Yung from payroll to check writing, etc., etc. But if you get our ERP, pwede mo siyang i-customize based on your needs. Kung ba kailangan mo lang HR part lang, pwedeng yun lang. Kung payroll lang. So mas cost efficient for them.
Okay. And then, ano naman yung gain na gusto naman nila makuha?
So yun yung ina-address namin.
Ah?
In terms of the value for money, of course.
Yung value for money, bale. Okay. And then, so you solve the customer pain. How? How do you solve the customer pain? Ray, how does your solution solve the customer pain? Okay, mukhang nawala si Ray. Hold on. Ayun. Ray, are you still there? Okay, mukhang nagloko na yung audio ni Ray, no? Okay, so nakikita nyo, although na-describe naman ni Ray yung kanyang customer profile, and gave us an overview kung ano yung target market niya, among others, no? Ano yung profile nila, ano yung mga concerns nila. Mapapansin nyo, that alone, although it has a lot of information, pero in essence, parang kung ako, halimbawa, kung ako yung magiging service provider, kulang siya sa akin. Kasi parang hindi pa rin clear sa akin kung paano yung product makakatulong dun sa customer. Although I know the features of the product, although sinabi niya yan, pwede siya makatulong sa payroll, what have you. So, kailangan mas ma-flesh out pa natin yung pain. And then from there, mas ma-flesh out mo pa yung gain. Like halimbawa, yan, yung nagbabayad sila kapag may upgrade. So ito, pag ito ginamit nila, pwedeng libre na yung upgrades nila. No? O kaya, pag may problem yung system, yung minsan nagkakaroon ng downtime, kapag ito, mapoprovide mo instant customer access support. So, although that those are assumptions, pero dun pumapasok yung mas naiintindihan mo kung ano yung pain at gains na gusto makuha ng customer mo in relation dun sa performance ng kanyang job. Anong impact nun dun sa job na gusto na kailangan niya i-perform para makita mo kung paano ka papasok. Kasi kung sabihin lang natin, para ma-solve natin yung payroll niya. Ano ba job niya? Ano bang job niya? Ba't pumasok yung payroll sa usapan? So, doon natin ma-flesh out ngayon kung ano yung uh, kasama doon sa job niya or things that needs to be done like grow the business, pwedeng grow the sales force or keep the sales force happy, no? So, depende yon kung paano natin siya i-represent. Pero anyway, those are inputs. Unfair naman na sabihin kulang yung ginawa niya kasi syempre on the spot yung ginawa natin. Pero I hope nakita niyo yung process. Kaya kailangan talaga na iniintindi natin yung customer and what value you are providing before we really dive into and start building things. Para mas makasave tayo ng time sa ating ginagawa. Alright? Thank you very much, Ray, ha? Clap, clap, clap. Thank you very much, Ray. Okay. And then Ray said they usually sit down with them pa. Alright? Thank you very much, Ray. And then Niall said, okay, balik tayo sa firmographic slide. Okay, is Niall, mag-share ka ba? Okay, who else wants to share and give it a shot? Meron bang gustong mag-share? Anyone? So you can type your answers using the questions box. And if your microphone is working, I can unmute your microphone so you can do your own sharing. So anyone interested in sharing? All right, mukhang na busy na. Okay. All right. So kung wala na tayong questions, kindly press the raise your hand button if there are no more questions. Okay, ayun. All right. Si Olivia. Olivia, is your microphone working? Can we give it a shot? All right. Hi, Olivia. Olivia? Can you talk? I think okay naman yung audio mo. Okay. Mukhang hindi ready. Hi, Olivia. Olivia? Alright. Mukhang may problem nga yung audio ni Olivia. Kasi in-unmute ko na siya pero hindi ko pa rin siya naririnig. Olivia? Okay. Sige. Alright. Basahin ko na lang yung sinabit ni Olivia. As Olivia mentioned earlier, nasa digital marketing siya. Focus audience niya are business owners who have no online presence or would like to improve their online presence. Business owners 30 to 40, right hand of decision makers. They have decision making power. Companies with less than 150 employees. And demographics, they are 30 to 40 degree holder. Ethnographics help communities around them. They are very CSR active. Psychographics, family oriented, into CSR, concerned about security, traditional, who wants to go digital. Okay, Olivia. And then Cheryl said, thank you. I really like to participate, but since I am new, I guess I need more time to process the information and put it to practice. Okay, I understand, Cheryl. So, ang suggestion ko sa inyo, kung gusto nyo pang i-process itong na-learn natin today, i-connect nyo siya dun sa session din natin last time. Kasi the session this week, the branding, value proposition identification, and buyer persona are tightly integrated. Parang they really have to work together, synchronize sila, parang may sense of consistency. So I would suggest working on it so that para pagpasok niyo dun sa ating session next week na talaga nakafocus na tayo sa implementation ng e-commerce and digital marketing, mas malinaw na sa atin kung ano yung mga gusto nating gawin. Alright? So thank you again for joining this webinar session. Thank you so much.